Welcome back, everyone. Looking to get festive in the kitchen, but not in the mood for baking? No problem. Chef Paul Lillakas is here with your guide to holiday brittle and bark. I love that you've brought this here. I see bread, I see chocolate, like everything we need is in this kitchen right now. So great recipe. And maybe you can start by telling us, number one, why you love the recipe, and number two, what's the difference between bark and brittle?
Right, so I mean, holiday time, barks, brittles, we see them all the time. They're great, they're giftable, they're easy to make. But the difference is, I mean, at their base level, they're both candy. But a brittle uses boiled sugar as a glue to stick other ingredients together, like nuts. We all heard about peanut brittle. And bark uses some alternate ingredients, so chocolate. It's typically easier to make with kids, doesn't really require any cooking.
Okay, so, love that.
Yeah, and today I've brought two recipes. They're unlike your typical barks and brittles. We're gonna make a chocolate caramel croissant brittle and then a waffle cone chocolate bark.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's start with the brittle. Here's what you need for the brittle if you want to make this recipe at home. And how do we start?
Okay, so this starts with a simple cream mixture. I've already microwaved half a cup of half and half, just until it's simmering. I'm gonna add it here. Typically, caramels will always have a sugar mixed with a fat, so I'm gonna add 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar and some sea salt and some vanilla extract. And just give that a whisk.
And any particular reason why you want to microwave that milk? I mean, could you warm it up on the stove?
You could, but I mean, this allows us to measure in the same vessel that we're heating. So it's strictly a convenience thing.
A little shortcut.
Right. Okay, so now we've made this mixture. I know it looks a little funkier, like where's this going? But all we have to do is cut up some day-old croissant and dip it in that mixture. So the way that I like to do it is knock off the end, slice about centimeter thick rounds. They just look like crostini, and these end pieces in half. So you got.
I thought the end pieces we were going to snack on while we do the recipe.
You could.
No, that's not how it goes.
I got a whole bowl here. So now they're about equal sizes, and now we're just going to dip them.
So sort of a little bit like a French toast.
Kind of, yeah, except this is a very sweet mixture, and you want to let this kind of seep out. You don't want it too sweet, but all those layers, see, all these layers of the croissant are going to get a thin coating of that sugar mixture, and it's going to caramelize in the oven.
Well, what I was going to ask next is why do you want to use croissant? But is that why? Because there are so many layers of bread in a croissant?
Yeah, so I wish I could take full credit for this, but it was actually developed at Sea Wolf Bakery in Seattle, where they were looking for a way to use up day-old croissants and make them into sort of a coffee-side biscuit. And so I've adapted it here a little bit. I've added some dark chocolate, a little bit of sea salt, but it's just amazing. These layers in here, they get that wafer-thin layer of chocolate, and when we put these in a 300-degree oven for about 45 to 55 minutes until they're nice and dry, they look like this.
So they're crispy and crunchy.
And golden. Oh, they're absolutely dry, and the whole house smells like caramel. It almost tastes like sponge toffee, and because there's so much butter in the croissants, it's got like a brown butter undertone. And now I just think we're gonna zhuzh it up for Christmas. You've seen me do this before. We're gonna do the dark chocolate drizzle. So all I've done is taken some dark chocolate chips, put them in a zipper bag, and set it in a mug of hot tap water. Yeah,
it's a great hack, actually, and you have done that before. It's the easiest thing. You don't need a double boiler. You just need the hot water.
That's right, hot tap water, a zipper bag, a pair of scissors, and now we're just going to give these that
Okay, would you do me the honors? Can I do?
Yeah.
Can I do a few?
For sure, here.
I very rarely want to do anything in the kitchen, but this...
Don't squeeze too tight. You don't want the bag to break, and you want, quick movements.
Oh, gosh, okay, sorry. How about that?
Go up higher.
Okay.
Perfect.
How about that? Is that okay, Chef?
Yes, that's really good.
I'm scared. Why did I volunteer?
It's
okay,
really
here
good.
we go.
Okay, and now I want you to try one. So there's one for you.
Yeah.
I want you to try it. It's divine for such a simple thing.
You took the words out of my mouth. It is divine.
Isn't it?
Oh my gosh, it's caramelly.
Exactly, and thin and wafery, and you can take that to a party and put it next to a bark, which we're gonna make.
Yes.
And it's waffle cone chocolate bark. So this is inspired by that childhood moment. My favorite bite of the ice cream drumstick was that last bit of the cone full of chocolate. So I wanted to take that and turn it into a holiday bark. Two ingredients. You crush up some waffle cone while I pour out some milk chocolate.
You got it. Are you going to boss me around as I crush up the waffle cone? Or,
yeah, well.
Is there any, can I just do it like this?
Yeah, totally. Get in there.
All right.
And now I'm just going to get that out onto my pan here.
Oh boy, and it's milk chocolate. So
it's milk chocolate.
Paul speaks my language.
And now just give it a nice spread. I'm using an offset spatula, but you could use any kind of spatula you have around. And you can do this with kids. Make it into any shape you like, and just pour those waffle cone bits on top.
Oh, can I?
Yeah, just
Listen, if
sprinkle
this was
them.
me and I was actually doing this at home, there would be half the recipe actually in the pan because there's no way I'm melting all this milk chocolate and not eating it.
Go ahead, throw it
Is this
all on.
good?
Yeah, throw it all on.
Okay.
And now, I just like to take a spoon, press it in there, let it harden, and then here I already have one that I've made. Here's the fun part.
Okay.
Do it with the kids. Let's crack it into pieces.
Okay. So this would go in the fridge, by the way.
Yes.
So it needs to sit there in the fridge for how long, do you think?
Yeah, half an hour.
Oh, that's good.
And here's a little plating tip. When you're making barks like this, I like to plate them point up.
And I like to eat them point up.
Yeah, perfect. And you can take this to a party, and I can guarantee you no one's ever seen brittles and barks quite like this. And they're easier to make than typical brittles and barks.
And delicious. Thank you for these holiday recipes,
You're
Chef.
welcome.
So good.